Got groceries. Somehow it came up to over 40 USD. When I go grocery shopping, I literally have my calculator app out and I'm checking to make sure I'm staying within my grocery budget. But of course, if I'm going to a grocery store that I don't normally go to, I could read a sign wrong. The signs are in French too, not my first language. So I could read something wrong and be like, okay, cool, yeah, this is only €1 and it's actually like 17 euros. So I'm like, okay, well, their salmon was on sale, so I also got a thing of salmon for I think a little bit less than €4. So I'm attempting to recreate the salmon and avocado toast that Chloe and I had in Croatia because it was so good. Now I'm headed back home. I'm gonna wrap up work, put my groceries away, clean my room a little bit. Good morning. It's like, well, I guess it's actually around noon. My game plan for today was to go to the beach, but I woke up a little bit late and I think the bus only runs twice today, and then it's a 40-minute walk. Like, you have to take an hour of public transport and then it's a 40-minute walk because the bus only runs twice today and I missed the first one, and the second one means I'd only be at the beach for like half an hour. So I'm kind of reevaluating things. I already have everything packed. I'm ready to go. So maybe I'll just go to Le Parc de la Tête d'Or. I feel like that's my move. And then the bus is supposed to run a lot more on Saturday. Then I guess maybe I'll do that on Saturday instead. I have to look at the weather. I think it's still supposed to be nice, but today's supposed to be like the warmest day. So that would have been nice. I can chill and journal. Do everything I was planning on doing, just like not the swimming part. We've got the first snack, yogurt and granola. I spent the last like hour and a half editing my vlog from Croatia. I edited it all, but the aspect ratio wasn't right, so I'm re-editing everything. But yeah, did that, finished part 1 of the vlog. Now I think I'm gonna listen to my audiobook and chill a little bit. Put on more sunscreen. I'm getting better about it. The last thing I have is this little dessert that I got from the store because it was on sale. But it was a ding dong and I forgot the top is chocolate, so it's completely melted. But I'm sure it'll still be delicious. My phone is currently at 3% and my vlog is like 65% of the way edited. So I think I'm going to lay in the sun for a little bit, grab my portable charger, thank God I packed it, finish my audiobook, or at least get close to finishing it, and then get back to my place. This looks absolutely nothing like what I ate in Croatia, but this was my attempt at an avocado salmon burger. I had to watch some videos and call my dad to figure out how to cook salmon, and then I cut it up in itty bitty pieces because I don't have a meat thermometer, and I was worried that it wouldn't cook and it would be raw and I would get sick. But that's my dinner. It is very, very, very late, but I just booked myself a little something. You guys will probably find out what it is later. I feel like it would be more fun to be like, surprise, this is what I'm doing. That's like kind of how I prefer things in life. I like to move in silence and then be like, surprise, this is where I am. I think the only people that currently know my game plan are my parents, and everyone else in my life is just gonna be in for a little treat when it's like, oh, where is Selena? I'm so excited. I started researching it literally last night, and I like called my mom at midnight and I was like, but who knows if it'll happen? Like right now it's just a silly little idea. Like I get these ideas late at night and I'm like, oh, let's do this, it would be so fun. And then I wake up in the morning and I'm like, what? But I woke up this morning and I was like, no, I really want to do it. So I started doing research at like 8 p.m. and it is now like late. but I just booked everything. I'm so excited because it's in a place that I have wanted to travel to for so long, and the actual thing is something I've wanted to do for so long. I feel like it'll be the perfect way to wrap up this semester. I just had my Croatia trip, which was like my last friend trip. Like, that was so fun. And then I have this like massive solo trip, and then I have a week to chill, and then my mom comes and we start backpacking Europe. Oh my gosh. I ran by the mall and I got these little 60 milliliter travel size containers. So the game plan is to take my sunscreen and put it in there and then shove it all in my liquids bag. Sunscreen is definitely a must. It's a little bit past 10:30. I watched the graduation ceremony because my best friend was graduating. So even though I couldn't be there in person, I tuned in and she slayed. But now I'm out of the house. I left like 3 minutes later than Google Maps told me I should leave. So the good news is I'm leaving a little bit early, so I have some wiggle room. I don't have to catch the last bus. I'm catching like the second to last bus, but I'm still hoping to make the second to last bus. I'm taking one pretty quick metro and then one longer tram. The place where I have to sit and wait for the tram isn't my favorite, especially at night. So I'm hoping I don't have to sit there for long. Not all my snacks fit in my backpack, so I have my chocolate mousse and my cherry tomatoes. I got no footage of me taking the metro, so I live in the middle of two ends of the metro, and our metros aren't a loop, it's just like a slingshot back and forth. And I took all the way down on one side, which is the way I take to get to school in most places, so I was like, okay, perfect. And then when I got off, I realized I needed to be all the way down on the other side, so I had to go all the way back down. This is why we do it a little bit early. I still have, I think, 2 options to catch. I think I was taking the third to last train, so. I fear I failed to ever give you guys a rundown of what's happening, but I'm really cheap, and my flight is at 6 a.m. tomorrow, and an Uber costs $50. But me taking the tram only costs $10. The issue is there's not a tram as early as like 4 in the morning. So I take the last tram and I spend a few hours at the airport. But then I save some money. Honestly though, I feel like this time spending the night at the airport isn't a bad deal. My flight boards at like 5:30, or boarding closes at 5:30. So I'll go through security at like 4 a.m. I'm getting here, I think it's like a little past midnight because I messed up and like I took this and that, blah blah blah. So I'm getting here later than normal, and I'm only hanging out for like 4 hours before I like go through the whole process. Compared to the 10 hours I spent on the floor of the Manchester airport with no Wi-Fi, sitting right next to a very sensitive motion sensor door in the dead of winter, I feel like this will be a breeze. Just made it through security. It was mostly a breeze. My bag actually got flagged and like had to go a different route, which is the first time that's ever happened to me. But I also haven't flown that many times. But the guy didn't even like open it up or look through it or anything. I was like, I don't know that I have enough French to be like, oh, what are you looking for? Like, I don't know if they asked me any questions, but I was just gonna be like, yeah, go for it, rifle through. I was like, did my apples set it off? Wait guys, also update, instead of sitting in an uncomfortable chair to get an outlet, I'm sitting on a comfortable chair to get an outlet, so upgrades.